We're go for launch, guys. Welcome. It is 7:28 p.m. here in Florida, and I'm going to be hanging out with you for probably an hour. I'm going to shoot for an hour. Might go longer, might go shorter. We shall see. If you can hear that, that's the sound of me pouring a little drinky drink because it is my weekend. That's how it works. 24 on, 48 off. Every day I work is a weekend. Welcome, guys. What's up? What are you up to? What's going on? Tomorrow, me, my wife, my dad, and my daughter are all driving down to watch the Artemis launch. Crossing my fingers that it actually goes off. You know how these things go. Yeah, when the shuttle program was active, I used to try to go down all the time and watch shuttle launches. But, you know, I don't know how many I saw. Maybe like 6 to 8? I don't know. Something like that. But I definitely drove down way more for launches that got scrubbed than I actually saw. Probably double that. But, so yeah, I'm used to it. I get it. You know, better safe than sorry. But I really hope they light that candle tomorrow so they can give my daughter and the rest of the crowd one hell of a show. But good to see everybody. Hope you're doing well. Topic of conversation is not all that creative. I'm just curious what your favorite, or who your favorite Star Wars character is. My favorite is Han Solo. You know, I grew up with the original trilogy. That smarmy, sarcastic, handsome son of a bitch. He's always been my favorite Star Wars character. I don't know why. So I think as a kid, you know, growing up with Star Wars as a kid, especially a fan of the OT, a kid that grew up with the OT as their primary and only Star Wars, there's something you gravitate towards with a character like that, you know. Just so sure of himself. But as you get older, you know, you start to appreciate the nuances, the details, the small things of other characters. And that you might not have noticed or even thought about when you were an itsy bitsy little child, right? But anyway, what's going on, everybody? We don't have to, you guys know these things. We don't have to stay on topic. We never do. So if there's something you would rather talk about, yeah, man, I am all ears. Anyway. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get this thing started. Darth Nicholas, what's up, man? Darth Nicholas says, my favorite The Clone Wars character is Ahsoka. I would have to agree. I mean, my favorite Clone Wars character is also Ahsoka. And I think the main reason that my favorite Clone Wars character is Ahsoka is because she's a new character in the Clone Wars. And, yeah, just something new and different and interesting. And I like the dynamic between her and Anakin, and yeah, man, I'm with you. Kyle Katarn. What movie has the best Han performance for you? I don't know. It's either A New Hope or The Empire Strikes Back. I'm probably gonna go with A New Hope though. I think in A New Hope he you know, he's not a part of the. They're not a crew yet. So he's still kind of more of a sarcastic asshole. What does he say? What a lovely smell you've discovered. You know, your worshipfulness, all that kind of stuff. He's, yeah, I don't know. Probably in A New Hope, probably. Can you guys hear me okay? I just want to make sure the music's not too loud. There we go. Ezra Yoda Ahsoka says Zuger Murdy? Did I pronounce that incorrectly? Probably. Oh, there's two R's, so it's probably, well, maybe it's like sugar. Zuger? Maybe? Galactic Equestria says Han, Sabine, Poe, and Fen. Oh, Ray, thank you so much for coming in with the first super chat and channel support. I love the Federation little logo there. Ray says, my favorite character is Obi-Wan Kenobi by a country mile, and since I grew up with the prequels, McGregor is my guy, with a special mention to Taylor. I get it. That's, I mean, we always come back to that in all of these live streams, how, you know, the characters that you grew up with are the ones that you're going to know and love forever. That's why so many of you guys love Ahsoka. She's your favorite character. Or Anakin. You know what I mean? Because you grew up with the prequels. And Rey... See, when I first read that, Rey, I was... In my brain... In my 36-year-old brain... I don't know how old you are. I mean, you might consider me growing up with the prequels. I was 13 when The Phantom Menace came out. And then in 2005, I was 19. So could you say that I, quote-unquote, grew up with the prequels? I guess in a way. But I barely watched them. I just preferred the OT because I watched the OT from like the time I was, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old until, for, you know, just, yeah. So in my brain, when you said Ewan McGregor, instantly Alec Guinness pops into my head, you know. So it's interesting how so much of how we view these things, that our perspectives are based off of what we were born into, what we grew up with, you know. And McGregor, as you said, is your guy. And I get it. He's the best thing about the prequels, hands down, by far. But hell yeah, Ray. Cheers, man. I also, once again, I love the Federation emblem there. Behind me, I don't know if you've ever seen my office. I have a painting, like a print of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, looking very like it looks like he's contemplating something. So I'm a big Star Trek fan as well. Well, I wouldn't say a big Star Trek fan. I'm a big Next Generation fan. That's my Star Trek. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, man. Favorite sequels character. Oh man, I think Kylo Ren was a really great villain. I think he was a really interesting, kind of a fun villain to watch from like a terrifying perspective. He might be my favorite character from the sequels just because he was interesting to watch. I liked Rey's character as well. This nobody from nowhere. In like my head canon, that's still what she is, you know, because I find that way more interesting than just kind of like a ham-fisted, oh, she's a Palpatine. This creative decision is always going to be boring as hell to me. But yeah. Nice. Demetrios says, I was 4 when I saw Return of the Jedi in the cinema. In 1983, I remember shutting my eyes when the Rancor came out to eat Luke. Yeah, it's funny, man. Like, I've thought about what age to show my daughter the Star Wars movies. And, you know, in my brain, there are things that I grew up with, and I probably watched them when I definitely watched them when I was her age. She's 4.5 years old. There's no question in my mind that I had seen them by then. But some of I mean, I can see how it could be a little scary for kids, you know? So I might wait till she's like 7 or 8 to actually sit down and watch them so she can kind of, not necessarily appreciate them, but kind of see where I'm coming from a little more with my love of it, you know? And if she likes it, cool. If she doesn't, cool. But, yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know they were doing that Rogue One IMAX thing. I wish I would have known about that. Not that I really have the time to check it out, but Yeah, I had no idea that they were doing that until they did it. Until, like, I saw people posting pictures that they were going to see Rogue One. I was like, what? Huh? I thought it was like some special showing at a local theater or something, but yeah. Mimi, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. Mimi says, his favorite character, or her favorite character, is Rey, and they say, I love the OT, but Rey wanting to find her place resonated with me. Something about her being abandoned and looking for her family just worked. It did. It's an interesting take for a new Star Wars character. That, you know, as I said, my headcanon, she's still a nobody from nowhere, and she's kind of trying to figure out her place in the universe. and to me, that's fascinating. As you said, it resonates. I think it could resonate with everybody, you know. It's kind of a story about found family in a way, right? Where lineage and where you come from doesn't matter. It's what you make of yourself. And I mean, I've beaten a dead horse over this topic, you know, over and over again, but I find that a refreshing take on a new Star Wars character, because we've had so many connections in the Star Wars stories and over the years, and it was kind of refreshing to have this character who, you know, didn't know where she came from. We didn't know where she came from, and she could make something of herself. But now I guess that's now I guess she's a Palpatine. I guess she's a Palpatine now. Anyway, Mimi, I appreciate it, and I wholeheartedly agree. What's up, Brandon? It's not a shuttle. It's the SL. It's a rocket. I have a friend who always says shuttle, and I don't know if he's fucking with me or not, because I'm the kind of person that'll be like, well, it's not the space shuttle. The space shuttle was retired in 2011, or was it 12? I went to the last shuttle launch. I think it was 2011, I think. STS-135. STS-135. Yeah, 2011 was the last launch. It's tomorrow at 2:17 p.m. is when the 2-hour window opens. Ray, Star Wars Story, Darth Nicholas, Alkin, and Ray, thank you guys so much for the generous super chats this evening. Who is first? Let's see. Oh, Ray. Ray says, fan of Anakin, and I'm glad that Hayden got some love from the fan base during Kenobi, though I liked both of his versions, the Clone Wars and prequels. I'm 20, by the way. Nice. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Anakin in the Clone Wars. I'm a big fan of that show in general, and I think it makes me well, I don't know how to put it. It makes me, I guess you could say that it makes me appreciate the prequels a little more with the context and the history and the adventures that these characters go on. You know, you kind of get to see their relationships a lot more, and it puts more weight on the events that happen in the prequels, you know? So yeah, I'm a big fan of how all those characters were handled in that cartoon. Ray, I came really late to the Clone Wars. I started watching it in 2017, and I think I finished it in 2019. But yeah, it's cool to see, you know. So you're 20. You're 20. You were born after The Phantom Menace came out. You were born... Hell. like maybe right when Attack of the Clones was coming out. So it's really fascinating for me, especially having this YouTube channel and kind of seeing it firsthand and witnessing the shift. But Ray, back in the day in 1999 through 2005, those movies, if you were on the internet especially, those movies were just poo-pooed endlessly. I mean, it was just a big bucket of negativity being poured everywhere. And, you know, people were complaining about the actors and everything, me included. But what's been really interesting and kind of fascinating to see is how since then, folks like you, younger folks who grew up with these movies, they consider that their Star Wars. When they think of Star Wars, they first and foremost think of those movies. And now they've grown up, they've had a voice on the internet. You've had a voice on the internet. You defend what you love. You defend the actors. You defend all that stuff. And now there's like a wave of support and adoration and love for those flicks. And I guess I would say I would never have predicted it just because I was surrounded by all that negativity. Not just by virtue of being on the internet. You know, everybody was surrounded by that negativity back then. And I was a part of it. You know, I was just riding the wave of everybody else shitting on those movies. So it's been really interesting, Ray, to kind of see the shift. And I'm curious. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that it is a generational thing. So let's say 20 years from now, the sequel trilogy, I'm sure will have a giant wave of defenders as well. I will say that in my friend group, my Star Wars friend group that I've known forever, like personal real world friends, they definitely appreciate and like the sequel trilogy more than the prequels. And again, that's just probably because of age, right? But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Ray. Cheers, man. Let's see. Who was next? There we go. Star Wars Story, Darth Nicholas, Alkin, Ray, Star Wars Story. Sapity and Oscar, thank you guys so much. Star Wars Story says, Rey's arc was underwhelming, but I don't see enough reason for her not to be an honorary Skywalker, just like Leia's Leia Organa, being an Organa, or Boba is a Tusken, etc. No, I actually like the whole kind of Skywalker adoption kind of thing. Again, it's about found family, you know. And I like that. I like that. It's not, you don't have to succumb to what your lineage is. You don't have to become, you know, who and what you came from. You can become whatever you want. You can be adopted by whomever. You can join whatever group or become anything that you want, you know. So that's one of the things that The Rise of Skywalker, for those of you who might not know, I'm not a fan of that movie. It's one of my least favorite Star Wars movies. But there are a few things that are peppered in that I really enjoy, and I think work really well. And Rey, you know, becoming a Skywalker or being adopted with the Skywalker name. I don't know. I like it. I do like it. But yeah. Again, like my brain almost forces me to almost completely ignore The Rise of Skywalker, to the point that I forget a lot of things happened in that movie. But yeah, cheers, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, Boba and the Tuskens was a really great part of that show, despite me not really liking it all that much. that was one of my favorite aspects, Boba and the Tuskens. And Darth Nicholas, thank you so much as well. Darth says, I may be in the minority with this opinion, but I honestly prefer the Clone Wars version of Anakin over the prequels. They almost feel like two different characters. Yeah, I could see why you could say that. I agree with you. I like the Clone Wars version of Anakin more than the prequel version. I do have to... When I say that, I do have to also remember that you're with him for 7 seasons. So you see more details of his personality. You see more of the instances where he kind of goes against the grain. You see how he's kind of like... Yeah, you just spend more time with him, so you get to know this character more. It's a virtue of having more time with him, right? You get to see his actions, his mindset. You get to spend more time with him. But I'm with you, Darth. I like Clone Wars Anakin more than prequels Anakin. I don't necessarily see them as two different characters, but I don't know. You just see more of this character, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? And I doubt, honestly, Darth, I doubt you're in the minority when it comes to that opinion. I doubt it. I bet there's a lot of people out there that would agree with you. I bet that's the case with a lot of prequel characters that pop up in the Clone Wars, you know? And again, it's just by virtue of spending more time with said character, you know? But yeah. Cheers, man. I appreciate that. Let's see. Alkin, Ray, Star Wars Story, Sapity, Oscar, Mad Dog, Ray, and Lucas. Thank you guys so much. And then Chris. What's up, Chris? Alkin says, gotta go with Luke. A big inspiration to me to always try to be better, and TLJ showed me even more heroes have their flaws. One of the reasons that I love his character in TLJ. It's great. Yeah, Luke Skywalker, as I've gotten older, Han Solo. So, I'll say Han Solo was my favorite character growing up. I think my favorite character as a 36-year-old man is Luke. I guess I ping-pong between Han and Luke all constantly, but yeah, Luke, one of my all-time favorite scenes, man, is Luke gazing out at the twin suns. The imagery there, the metaphor, I like the twin suns. To me, it represents the two paths that Luke could choose. Is he going to stay home, tend to the farm, with his uncle? Is he going to continue to live this life on this big dust desert planet, and not pursue his dreams, his wants and wishes? Or is he going to take the other son? Is he going to take the other path? And is he going to push himself? Is he going to choose for himself? Is he going to go off and try to experience life and go on a grand adventure? And to me, that's one of the reasons that I love that character. And he doesn't get to choose, really. It's foisted upon him. The choice is foisted upon him, And what does he do? He doesn't cower. He signs up. Whatever that means. Anyway, how can I appreciate the hell out of that, man? Ray, thank you so much. Ray says, 4 bloody years old. I remember you announcing her. Dude, it's mind-blowing. She's 4.5. She'll be 5 in April. I will say that they always talk about the terrible twos. No. She was an angel at 2 years old. It's the terrible 4.5s, man. Oh my god, I don't even know how to describe it. If anybody else has kids out there, I said this last stream, I think, but like, holy shit, man. The terrible 4.5s. She's got, like, she's just so mean. I don't know. It's weird. It's so weird. She gets so, I don't know if she just doesn't know how to control her emotions. She just gets so mean and doesn't listen at all. Does the complete opposite of everything we say. She'll like walk up and hit us. It's infuriating. We don't know what to do. Like, I don't want to spank her. I spanked her like once or twice in her 4.5 years of existence, and I instantly feel bad. And I'm like, I'm never going to do that again. Timeout doesn't work because I feel bad as well. Because last time I put her in timeout, I turned on the monitor. I went downstairs and turned on the monitor. She was in her room. I shut the door. And I turned on the monitor, and all I hear is, "Dada, I love you so much." And I was like, oh, shit. And I just went back upstairs. Yeah, she's 4, man. It has flown by. It's so weird. Me and my daughter were actually, when she was eating lunch today, we were looking at some old home videos that I made of her when she was younger and like when she first learned her ABCs and stuff like that. Just too cute. Too cute. Now she is a goddamn terror. Anyway, I appreciate it, Ray. And Star Wars Story, thank you so much. Star Wars Story says, unpopular opinion. I loved Hux in TLJ instead of him continuing to be a bleak Tarkin ripoff. He became a comedic presence, and Star Wars needs balance. Yeah, I never really minded Hux. He was a weasel. Man, I don't remember him too much. I don't remember him too much in... He's one of those characters that I don't really remember too much of his role in those movies. I mean, he played... Sorry, guys. Still have this cough. He was one of those characters that plays a very subtle... I mean, I guess you could say he's a pretty major character. But his role is so minor that I rarely think of him, you know. But hey, Star Wars Story, you love what you love. You love who you love. If you love Hux, man, more power to you. I do like how I guess they made him a little good, or he was the recipient of goofiness, right? And he was like a wannabe tough guy who did not know how to react to people being sarcastic assholes to him. And I kind of liked it. But anyway, Star Wars Stories. Cheer, man. I need to get rid of this cough. Just the nature of constantly being around sick people at work and having a daughter in school, which school for a 4-year-old is basically a petri dish. But anyway, Sapity, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Sapity says, while Boba is always the top dog, Vader has the... This is ridiculous. I apologize, guys. Vader has the spot for the best villain. At first, an evil henchman type in A New Hope with a cloudy background, to becoming a hero-turned-villain with an epic redemption. Yeah, I love his story through and through. I do see A New Hope is my favorite Star Wars movie. And I love him in that movie because, as you said, he is just a henchman. He's like a right-hand man. He's like the muscle. I mean, even the admirals and everybody in that movie in A New Hope, they kind of give him shit, you know. You're not going to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader. I can't remember exactly what he says. Even your blah 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 didn't give you clairvoyance to. I gotta read this. What does he say? A New Hope clairvoyance to quote. Let's see. Stolen. Yeah, okay. Admiral Mahdi, don't try to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader. Your sad devotion to that ancient religion has not helped you conjure up the stolen data tapes or given you clairvoyance enough to find the rebels' hidden fort. Ugh. Yeah, so they're all like talking down to him. Grand Moff Tarkin seems to almost be above him. He was a villain to the villains. And I almost like him better like that. He's almost more frightening like that, you know. But top dog for you is Boba. All right. Hey, we all like what we like. But yeah, I kind of like Vader like that. A villain to the villains. Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much. Oscar says, Lando, I'd love a Catch Me If You Can type movie with him. That'd be fun. A Catch Me If You Can type Star Wars movie would be a blast. Absolutely. I thought Rogue One was going to be kind of like that. I thought Rogue One was going to be kind of like a Ocean's 11 kind of deal. A Catch Me If You Can, maybe on the run. But yeah, Lando would be a fun character to have in that role for sure. You know, you could have him owe a lot of people money or something like that, gambling debts, people trying to hunt him down, a bunch of factions and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it would. I was just about to say that, Stuart. Stuart says Donald Glover wants to see if he were to return to Lando. Oh, really? Has he said that? I read your comment wrong before I said I was about to say that. I was not about to say. I was about to say I would love to see Donald Glover again in that role. We are getting the Lando show if that's still happening. I remember them announcing that. Was that a couple years ago now? But maybe it's still happening. Who knows at this point, right? Who knows? But anyway, Oscar, I appreciate that, man. And Mad Dog, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well. Mad Dog says, Legends, Darth Gravid? I'm going to say Gravid. It was probably never spoken unless in Google I typed Darth David. Darth David. Let's see what comes up in David. Oh, David Prowse comes up. Duh. Let's see. Darth Gravid. I was a human male, ran a Dark Lord of the Sith lineage of the Order of Sith. Okay, let's see where he appears. This is a character I'm not familiar with at all, Mad Dog. So he appeared in, he was mentioned in the Darth Plagueis book. Oh, he's just mentioned, okay. Sorry for all the grunts. Sorry for all the coughs. For whatever reason, I've had a tickle in my throat for a couple days. Let's see. Interesting. He owned a collection of Sith lore and also possessed the knowledge of essence transfer, which enabled a Force user to transfer one's consciousness into another body. Graven eventually gained a Twi'lek female as his Sith apprentice, naming her Darth Gian. And Gian, or Jean? Darth Jean. Darth Harold. Darth Henry. Darth George. Constructed a bastion on the planet. Okay. Interesting. Mad Dog says he wanted to combine philosophies of the Jedi and Sith, and thought for the Sith to survive they need to use light and dark forces. I like that. I like that. A character that's not all in on one thing, you know? Because I think that's most of us, right? At least if you got a little bit of a brain. You're not all in on one philosophy. You're not all in on one viewpoint or one political spectrum. You're not all in just like all your chips are on one side. I think that we're all more complex than that, right? And I kind of like a character like that. I like that. I'm going to look into this guy, Mad Dog. I never read the Plagueis book, and I don't know if he's really in that book that much, but interesting. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Ray, some things are stronger than blood. Going back to the conversation about found family, not needing lineage to dictate what and who you become, you know. Some things are stronger than blood. That is is that a Clone Wars quote? Stronger than blood. Oh, wait. When does he say this? When does he say this? Is this... Luke Skywalker says that some things are stronger than blood. What are some things... When does he say this? Is it in... Oh, it's in The Rise of Skywalker. That's why I don't remember it. Oh, that's great. That's another... Okay, that's another thing that I like about that movie then. Alright. I like that quote. Oh, I dig it, man. That's one of those, like, that's one of those words of wisdom that, you know, will... I could see sticking around and being quoted as we quote the OT, as people quote the prequels, you know. I can see some things are stronger than blood. Being one of those sentiments that people kind of pass down through their love of Star Wars, you know. But cheers, man. I appreciate that, Ray. Spencer said, I just rewatched the prequels and wondered why anyone would want to be a Jedi. Indeed. Lucas, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Lucas says, favorite character is definitely either Anakin, Obi-Wan, or Luke. Can't decide between those three. You don't need to pick a favorite, man. Dude. My favorite anything always ping-pongs between a few choices, right? So, yeah, there's no reason to kind of stick to your guns with one. Absolutely no reason. And those are all great characters. Anakin, Obi-Wan, or Luke. For sure. Out of those three, Luke is tip-top for me. But you know, that would be completely different if I was maybe 10 years younger. I'd probably throw Anakin in the mix, you know. It's just how it is. But yeah, there's no reason to pick a favorite. That's why the title of this live stream is dumb. Who's your favorite Star Wars character? It should be called, who are some of your favorite Star Wars characters? But then we would have lists of 10 people. But yeah, Lucas, there's no reason to decide. Maybe you're feeling Obi-Wan one day, and then the next day you're feeling more Luke. Every day's different, right? For sure. But I appreciate that, Mr. Lucas. Cheers, man. And Chris to follow, good to see you. Hope you're doing well, man. Chris says, hey, end of TLJ equals better point of closure than Rise. Yeah, I would tend to agree. 95, I don't like 90% of The Rise of Skywalker. It could fuck off to the sun for all I care. I love the ending of The Last Jedi. It's one of my favorite, with Luke and Kylo. It's one of my favorite moments in the entire saga. It's absolutely beautiful. And if that was the finale to... If that played into a finale of a saga, of a trilogy, I think it would have been so damn powerful. Obviously, they'd have to rewrite a lot of the ending with the whole crew on the ship and everything, and all the hugs and whatnot. They'd have to do something a little... something different. But if the trilogy ended with that Luke and Kylo moment, that is... to me, that would be endlessly more powerful. Well, I mean, I say I don't like 90% of The Rise of Skywalker. I do enjoy Rey. I guess Rey going to Tatooine. There's certain things I do enjoy about the ending of The Rise of Skywalker, but overall, once again, 90%. Yeah. Oh yeah, even the part with the boy, for sure. Broom kid. Broom boy. Absolutely, Chris. Now, there's so much I love about TLJ. It's like the complete... I said 90% of The Rise of Skywalker I'm not a fan of. That's the opposite with TLJ. 90% of that movie I'm a fan of. But anyway, Chris, I hope you're doing well, man. It's good to see you. Cheers. Going down to see the Artemis launch tomorrow, Chris. With my daughter, my dad, and my wife. Hopefully it goes off. You know how these things go. Constantly getting scrubbed, driving a couple hours. We're lucky. I can go outside during a launch and see a rocket. I'll have to take a picture one day, like a night launch especially. It's wild to see from my house. I live about an hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours, depending on traffic, away from Cape Canaveral, from launch pad 39A and 39B. And at night, if they're launching like a Falcon rocket or something like that, SpaceX is, or if NASA's putting something up of their own, I can go outside and it is insanely bright on the horizon, and I can track it until it gets into space. It's pretty wild, and I'm lucky that I live this close to that, especially since I'm into it. But this is the first time I'll be going down for a launch since STS-135 back in 2011, which was the last space shuttle launch. So I'm excited to get back down there, and it's fun, man. It's fun going down there. Everybody is just, it's a bunch of people there to see history, to see the same thing. There's vendors out there selling shirts and shit, and there's so many different viewing spots, and it gets so crowded, but it's fun because everybody's there to witness an event. So everybody's really cool. But Recorded Entertainment, I love Whiplash, man. I love that movie. I love it. It's fan. If anybody out there has not seen the movie Whiplash with J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller, you gotta see it. Whiplash. He's a drummer. I won't give anything away. I'm not even going to tell you about the characters or anything, but yeah, watch Whiplash. It is fantastic. The director, he's done a few things that I've liked, I think. Let me see. Yeah. The director also did La La Land. He also directed, First Man, which is probably in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. First Man, the Neil Armstrong biopic. Fantastic. He's a great director, man. Anyway. Yeah, Whiplash. If you got nothing going on this weekend, watch Whiplash. Even if you have something going on, watch Whiplash, man. Anyway, I appreciate that. Chris. About 600 Ewoks. I like the username. About 600 Ewoks says, Yubnub, Greedo. Favorite character, Darth Vader for sure. Jango Fett is easily second. Third, well, how can we forget the amazing Jackson, the bunny rabbit? Yubnub, right back at you. Yubnub for life. Yubnub all the way. Indeed. Jango is a character that maybe there's a lot of supplemental material, outside of the prequel. Oh, one sec.
Versus Jango Fett fight any day over those involving Count Dooku and Aayok. With that being said, I like Jango and Dooku a lot more after reading supplemental stories, especially Jango Fett.
It's hilarious. Darth, you just sent that super chat. We used the same word, supplemental material, or you said supplemental stories. That is funny. And I was just about to say that. I was just about to say exactly what you just said, Darth. Give me one sec. Well, it's going to feed into what I'm about to say about 600 Ewoks. I've never read any material with Jango Fett. I'd never played like the Bounty Hunter game. So outside of the prequels, I know nothing about Jango Fett as a character. So that character honestly does nothing for me because I've never experienced anything of that character outside of the prequel movies, I'm sure if I had, then that would be a much different story, But, yeah. I don't understand why Jango Fett is easily your second all-time favorite Star Wars character, but I don't need to understand. I get it, man. I completely get it. We like what we like. We all have different experiences. We've all read different things. And we all kind of gravitate towards different characters for whatever reason, But yeah, man. Cheers. I appreciate it. And Ray Farr, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Ray says, my favorite character is Zorb Bleebo. Are you? Is that you, Adam? I can't imagine that's you, Adam. If that's you, fuck you. The reason I'm saying that is probably not, but that's a very big coincidence if it's not you. So every year for the past, I don't know, has it been like, I'm 36 now. I don't know so we've had this fantasy football league with the same group of guys for 15 years. All guys that I knew and grew up with. And we have this fantasy football league, and we do a fantasy draft on webcam every year. Some of us are able to get together in person, but one of my buddies, Adam, this year he hopped on a Zoom conversation, our Zoom chat, wearing like an alien mask, and had like I don't know, like a light speed, like a trippy background behind him, and he had some kind of voice modulator, and he called himself Zorb. and he I can't remember what he said, but if that, yeah, I think that's you, fuckface. I'll send you the screenshot. If it's not you, and it's actually Ray Farr, I apologize for calling you fuckface. Anyway, cheers, man. Zorb Blebo. I should probably Google Zorb Blebo and make sure that's not an actual Star Wars character from some obscure bullshit comic. Why is this guy talking about fantasy football? Is he not aware of Zorb Blebo? No, nothing comes up. All right, anyway. Cheers, man. Franz Nerdnan, thank you so much for the channel support. Fran says, I've always loved the heroes of the rebellion, mainly Wedge Antilles. I just really love X-Wings and their pilots. Dude, Franz, that's why I was so excited for the Rogue Squadron movie. I think that's put on hold indefinitely as of right now. It's funny. I think people hold out hope when things are put on hold indefinitely. But when I hear that, I'm like, oh, this is never getting made. But yeah, I'm with you, Franz. My all-time favorite ship in Star Wars is an X-Wing. It's just the workhorse of the fleet. It's just like an F-16. It is your basic fighter jet, right? I love X-Wings. And yeah, I never read Heroes of the Rebellion or anything like that, but oh, nice, Franz. Franz says, I'm actually working on an X-Wing pilot costume. I just need the boots. Sweet. What kind of boots? Let's see. X-Wing pilot boots. Are you a member of the what do they call themselves? The Rebel Legion? I don't know if you're familiar with the Rebel Legion. It's the 501st sister organization. If you're not, you should Google Rebel Legion and join the forum. And actually, there's like guidelines on making a screen accurate Rebel Legion X-Wing pilot and all sorts of stuff like that. But you want to be nice, man. Yeah, do it. Get it screen accurate, get approved by the Legion, become a member. That's awesome. That's hands down one of my favorite, I love a Stormtrooper costume. I own a set of screen accurate A New Hope Stormtrooper armor, right? But I think my all-time favorite costume or uniform, whatever you want to call it, in Star Wars is an X-Wing pilot. It looks, it's obviously it takes so much inspiration from real world pilot uniforms and stuff like that. It's just the perfect mesh of used and abused sci-fi, and a mixture of a little bit of real world dashed in with it, right? But yeah, hell yeah, Franz. Whenever you're done with it, if you're not bashful, you can blur your face out, obviously, because who am I to say, yeah, take a picture of it, show me your face, I want to see your helmet. No, hide your face, man. It's the internet. Fuck this place, right? Anyway, Franz, cheers. I appreciate that. And yeah, definitely, I'd love to see a picture of it whenever it's completed. Yeah, I have a buddy who's in the 501st and the Rebel Legion. And he has a set of X-Wing pilot. He has a X-Wing pilot costume as well. And yeah, that's what I would do if I was looking to join for sure. Anyway, cheers. I appreciate that, man. And Star Wars Theology says, my favorite character is Luke Skywalker. May the Force be with you. Right back at you, man. Yeah, Luke is my favorite character as an adult. Han is my favorite character as a kid. Star Wars Theology, random question. Did I go on your YouTube channel the other day? And let's see. Star Wars theology. Oh, was it you? Yeah, it was you, man. I knew I recognized that username. I hopped on one of your live streams. Oh, you got 3 live streams going right now? That's crazy. How the hell do you do that? You can have 3 live streams going? You can have more than 1 live stream going? Interesting. Yeah, I hopped on Star Wars theology. Occasionally, I'll go to YouTube, I'll search Star Wars, and then I'll filter for anything that's live. And if somebody's playing like Battlefront or something like that, I'll hop on their live stream and chit chat with them for a few minutes and say, hey, what's up? It's always fun, you know. Most of the time, they're completely unaware of the Hello Greedo YouTube channel, which is kind of cool. I mean, that makes sense because who the fuck am I and what is this channel, right? In the grand scheme of things. But I hopped onto his live stream or her live stream, and they had like a live stream poll and asking what your favorite Star Wars movie was, and I voted. And yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I'd never seen a live stream like that where your vote impacts the screen. Like all the live stream is what is your favorite Star Wars movie, and then you vote, and it reorganizes based on you know, most votes to least votes and stuff like that. But anyway, hell yeah, Star Wars theology. I don't know if you're still here on the live stream, but thanks for dropping in, man. And Oscar Rodriguez, I appreciate that. Oscar says, Team Toe from episode 1 game, a funny drunk pod racer with a price on his head. I felt bad having Qui-Gon snitch on him. They say he was fed to the Sarlacc. Is he only in the episode 1 game? Appearances, let's see. I don't really remember the characters from that game, Oscar. I've owned that game since it came out. Let's see. So he appears in... Oh, he's in the Phantom Menace. Oh, no, he's not. Star Wars Journeys, the Phantom Menace. Star Wars episode... Oh, wait. Star Wars Episode 1, the Phantom Menace. First appearance. He was in that episode 1 pod racer game? Oh no. You're talking about the... Are you talking about the kind of top-down like hack and slash game that came out around that time? Okay, Team Toe, the Phantom Menace. Let's see if there's a screenshot. Oh, there's a bunch of... Oh, okay. I can't really... Okay. Oh, I recognize the pod racer that he has, I think. The video game. Okay, he is in that video game. He is in that top-down video game. It's funny, he's not... So, generally on Wikipedia, a character like that would be listed as appeared in... when it comes to everything, right? But he's not listed as appeared in that Phantom Menace game. But I'm seeing a screenshot of him in that game. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the background of this character. Let's see. Eventually, Team Toe attempted his second passing of the Canyon Dune, which still hosted several sniping Tusken Raiders. After... Oh, wait. This is... Oh, that's canon article. Let's go to the Legends article. There he is. He is in the Legends article, episode 1 racer. I always forget. There's a canon and then there's a Legends tab on Wikipedia. He's on the Legends tab. Oh, he's in Star Wars Galaxies? Oh, he's mentioned only. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. In Legends, it says he was still alive in 11 ABY when he sent Leia Organa Solo a copy of a video of Anakin Skywalker's win in the aforementioned race. He sent her a YouTube link. Interesting. All sorts of characters, man. All sorts of characters. Yeah, I don't see anything about him getting fed to the Sarlacc. Let's look. Let's Control F. Sar. Okay. A professional hitman named Jim Lang, okay, had been hired by Jabba to capture the unsuspecting half-drunk Vecnoid, which is Teemto, to be fed to the Sarlacc. However, his life was saved by Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn, who purposefully gave Lang the wrong coordinates of Teemto just moments before the bounty hunter had plotted to carry out the deed. Oh, good guy Qui-Gon. So many details. Anyway, I appreciate that, Oscar. Learn something new every day, man, about this big, beautiful, goofy-ass Star Wars universe. Darth Nicholas, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Darth says, I'll take the Obi-Wan versus Jango Fett fight any day over those involving Count Dooku and Attack of the Clones. With that being said, I like Jango and Dooku a lot more after reading supplemental stories, especially Jango Fett Open Seasons comic. Yeah, we discussed this a little earlier, right? We kind of both were on the same wavelength. Who was that? That was Mad Dog. Yeah, Mad Dog said Jango is one of his favorite Star Wars characters, and for me, I don't get that. I don't have to get that though. I know we all like what we like, but a big part of that is because I never read any supplemental material with Jango in it. You know, I never played any games with Jango in it. I don't think. Never played the Bounty Hunter game. So, you know, that's probably one of the big reasons that I really have no feelings towards that character, good or bad. But I'm with you, Darth. The Obi-Wan and Jango Fett fight is, I mean, relative to the rest of the Attack of the Clones fights, or even Revenge of the Sith fights, it's at least a little more believable, a little more grounded. It's short, it's brief, and oh wait, you're talking. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking. Well, yeah, I'm with you. Count Dooku, Yoda, all those big, crazy CGI fights. Honestly, they do nothing for me, guys. You guys know that. I would take the Obi-Wan Kenobi Vader fight in the Kenobi show over like Mustafar fight any day. I think it was way more powerful. It was way more grounded. It felt weighted. As a fight, as something, I liked it way more better. Way more better? Way more better. I need a beer. Anyway, Darth, I appreciate the hell out of that super chat and channel support. That incredibly generous this evening. Yeah, it's really interesting to me that the supplemental material that outside of the films that people latch onto, you know, and it builds their love for these characters that maybe felt flat in movies or other things that they saw them in, and it gives them more context, gives them more development, and, you know, obviously that will build an appreciation, a love for a character over time. But I mean, I've always loved Leia, but reading supplemental material with Leia in it makes me love that character even more, you know. Bloodline being the best example. But anyway, cheers, Darth. I appreciate the hell out of that, man. Too generous this evening. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend, Mr. Nicholas. And Geek Ledger, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well. And then I got Ray Farr. Geek Ledger. Oh, Ray. I'll read that in a second. Geek Ledger says, my favorite character is Ray, someone whose family doesn't define her. Someone who essentially comes from nothing, ends up accomplishing great things. I'm 100% with you, Geek Ledger. Ray's character, ignoring the... Well, I mean... I don't like the whole Palpatine thing at all. But you can still kind of... You said someone whose family doesn't define her. You can still say that about The Rise of Skywalker, right? Obviously. But Rey from nowhere. Rey being a nobody. That story of someone from nowhere being nobody, rising to the occasion, becoming something, putting the burden on themselves, facing their fears, doing the right thing. I think in Star Wars it's powerful. Not everything needs to be connected. Not everything needs to be based off of lineage. Not everything needs to follow family lines. After a while that shit gets boring. But having a character like Rey being a nobody from nowhere, it's powerful. It's a powerful, I guess, lesson. Which is a shame that they made her a Palpatine. I'm sure people draw inspiration from her not, like, succumbing to the Palpatine lineage and not, going against the grain with what ended up with that family. And I get that, but I think her being a nobody from nowhere with no ties to anyone we know is way more powerful, But I agree with you, Geek. I agree with you, Geek Ledger. But I appreciate the hell out of that, man. And then coming in with the final super chat. Oh, Spencer. Spencer. Shit, man. I'm sorry. I heard the notification go off in my headphones, and I meant to say something. I was in mid-speech. Spencer, thank you so much for becoming the latest member of the fleet. I greatly appreciate that. You get a special role in the Hello Greedo Discord server for joining the fleet. So I don't know if you're familiar with Discord or if you're on Discord, but you can download Discord, join the Hello Greedo server, and link your YouTube account with your Discord account, and you should automatically get that role in the Discord server. But if everybody could do me a big favor and say, welcome to the fleet, Spencer, in the chat. Once again, that's welcome to the fleet, Spencer. I would greatly appreciate that. Cheers, man. Welcome to the fleet. Once again, thank you, Spencer. And Ray Farr, thank you for coming in with a final super chat and channel support. This is hilarious to me. I could have swore you were Adam. Ray says, I am not Adam. LOL. That is an insane coincidence. I just wanted to say a dumb Star Wars sounding name. LOL. Love your channel and love you, man. Oh, cheers. That is hilarious, Ray. What a coincidence. That is so funny to me. I actually took a screenshot of my buddy doing that. Of Adam dressed up as Zorb. And what a coincidence. That is wild to me. I'm going to have to send him a link to this live stream and tell him to fast forward to the moment you sent that super chat. And then my whole, is that you, Adam? Spiel. That is ridiculous to me. That is ridiculous to me. But, yeah. It's a dumb sounding Star Wars name for sure. Anyway. Ray, thanks for stopping in, man. Thanks for the laughs. And I appreciate the kind words. The channel is fun. I've been doing it for 11 years. I've always... I'll give the spiel, but I've always had a nice... fun, healthy relationship with YouTube. I've never felt obligated to make videos or stream. The channel has never been like my main source of income. I don't feel the pressure to constantly pump stuff out, you know? And I think that's why I've been able to do it for 11 years and still have fun, you know? If I was one of those YouTubers, and look, we're all different, but people pump stuff out every single day and they're fine, and you know, maybe that's what they love to do. But if I did that, I would get burned out so fast and this thing would feel like a job. I don't want that. I have a job, you know? This is my fun outlet. And so having that healthy relationship with it intentionally and never feeling the pressure keeps it fun for me. And that's all I want. That's all I want. Having fun. I'm not going to pump out 300 videos about some inconsequential bullshit for them clicks. I'm here to have fun and bullshit with you guys. Talk a little bit of Star Wars and a little about life and whatever we want to talk about. So, anyway, cheers, man. Spencer says, I've been watching you for like 8 years. Your Utah vacation is probably my favorite video. I watch it all the time, planning my own trip one day. Hell yeah, man. First of all, 8 years. Thanks for tuning in all these years. That's wild. You were there for the buildup of The Force Awakens. I'm very nostalgic for that time period. It was such a fun time for the channel too. I'm very nostalgic. It was such a fun time period, dude. But thank you for tuning in all these years. And yeah, that Utah trip, man. It's my favorite trip I've ever taken. I mean, I have a lot of favorite trips, but so those of you who maybe have never heard me talk about this trip or maybe never watched my video, dude, that video, the Grand Circle, I'll link it in the chat. If anybody wants to check it out, so let me mute this real quick. There we go. That video, I expected, Spencer, that video to maybe get like 3,000 views because A, I have a Star Wars YouTube channel, and B, I have a Star Wars YouTube channel, and who gives a fuck about a trip I went on, right? I expected it to get like no views, but that video has like 140,000 views. I never expected it to get anything. It's crazy to me. So yeah, I just linked that video in the chat. If you want to watch it, just Google like Hello Greedo, the Grand Circle. It's almost a 20-minute long video. It's got a lot of pictures of me and my wife out on this road trip that we took. We rented an RV and spent 10 days traveling what's called the Grand Circle. And you go to 5 national parks in Utah, and then we ended with the Grand Canyon. So we went to a total of 6 national parks in 10 days in an RV and camped and hiked, and it was a blast, man. So yeah, watch that video if you're curious. It's a good one. But anyway, yeah, plan the trip. You will not regret it. And if you have more time than 10 days, I recommend it. There was a few spots we wish we wish we could have stayed longer, but it is what it is, right? Anyway, Demetrio asks, does any of your close environment other than Miss Greedo know that you have this channel? Yeah, everybody does, really. You know, except for the guys at my firehouse or whatnot. But I mean, all of my close friends, my family all knows. A lot of guys in the 501st. Yeah, like, I mean, a shitload of people know that Hello Greedo is me. You know, it's kind of fun, but yeah, Catherine, I've been to the Smoky Mountains. So I have been to the Smoky Mountains probably 40 times. That's not maybe 30 times in my life. So for years, it was like a tradition when my mom, before I was even born, that my entire extended family would all go to the Smoky Mountains And it was just like a giant family reunion. There'd be like 40 of us there. And that was a tradition that my grandparents started. And it was always one of my favorite trips. No, we haven't gone in a couple of years. We used to go every Labor Day. And then that changed. Literally, I've been going since I was a baby. And but a couple years ago, we kind of stopped going. My grandparents are like 92 years old now. It's hard for them to be hard for them to get there and get around and whatnot in the cabin and everything. But I'd like to pick up that tradition again. You know, all like, I don't even know, 30, 40 of us in a cabin. You know, you smell the bacon in the morning, you get the coffee going, sitting on the back porch with your family, shooting the shit, looking at the mountains, playing euchre. I want to make that happen again. Yeah, I've been to Klingman's Dome many times. Yep, me and my dad used to wake up really early, like, and then drive up to Klingman's Dome from like Gatlinburg or whatever, and for the sunrise, because he's a great photographer, so he used to like to get up there and take a bunch of pictures of the sunrise. So we would go up there. Yep, all the time. I have been up there many times. The Appalachian Trail actually goes next to Klingman's Dome. But anyway, no, it's a fun 40, Catherine. It's a fun 40. Everybody drinks beer. It's a big party. It's a good time. Anyway, I got a jet, guys. All right, this was a fun one, man. This is a really fun live stream. They're all fun, but for whatever reason, this is a exceptionally fun time. All right, that's it for me. So, don't know what I got going on next. Tomorrow you will not see me because I'm going to be going down south a little bit for the Artemis launch. Hopefully it lights. But all right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. To everybody who supported the super chat, supported the channel with a super chat. Cheers, Spencer. Once again, thank you so much for joining the fleet. But anyway, all right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. Let's go to the mall. The year is 1993. And we're about to go to the mall. Oh, it's glorious. There's neon everywhere. Is that a rollerblader? I don't know. All right, later.